Forming questions in Spanish. This presentation will cover how to form questions in Spanish, whether it be simple yes or no questions, or more in-depth ones that use interrogative words. Please fill out your note sheet while you are watching this video. Preguntas en español. The number one most common mistake with questions is that we don't translate the word do into Spanish questions. We just switch around the word order. Do you study a lot is translated as ¿Estudias mucho tú? Or ¿Estudias tú mucho? The second trick is that we have to place the subject after the verb. To translate these questions, are they from Spain? Are they traveling to Mexico? Does she speak Spanish? Is Maria from Ecuador? They will have their subjects after the verb. ¿Son ellos de España? ¿Viajan ellos a México? ¿Habla ella español? ¿Es de Ecuador María? Or ¿Es María de Ecuador? The subject, if you decide to include it, is almost always after the verb in a question. Let's start with the 4 ways to form a yes or no question. First is intonation. This is the sound of your voice, and you just add question marks. Second is tag. Here you say the statement and add a tag word, either verdad or no. Third is inversion, where you start with the verb and put the subject after it. Fourth is also inversion, but you start with the verb and put the subject at the end of the sentence. Let's make this statement a question using the 4 methods that we just listed. Mario trabaja en la biblioteca. Intonation. Put question marks and end on an up note when you say it. Mario trabaja en la biblioteca. Tag. Write the statement and add our tag word at the end. Mario trabaja en la biblioteca, ¿no? Or Mario trabaja en la biblioteca, ¿verdad? Inversion. Let's invert the subject Mario with the verb trabaja. ¿Trabaja Mario en la biblioteca? Or, inversion, by putting the subject Mario all the way at the end. ¿Trabaja en la biblioteca Mario? For more in-depth questions, we will use our question words, or palabras interrogativas. The basic formula for questions is question word, verb, subject. Who is she? Who is the question word, is the verb, and she is the subject. ¿Quién es ella? Why do you study history? We have ¿Por qué estudias historia tú? ¿Por qué is the question word, estudias is the verb, and tú is the subject. When do you all study? ¿Cuándo estudian ustedes? ¿Cuándo is the question word, estudian is the verb, ustedes is the subject. More than just the basics. It is possible that there are other nouns or adjectives in the question. For example, what classes are you taking has the question word, then the noun clases, then the verb, and finally the subject. ¿Qué clases tomas tú? The exception to that is with how many are there? ¿Cuántos or cuántas hay? Or how much is there? ¿Cuánto or cuánta hay? Here is the formula with I. Question word, subject, verb. For example, how many students are there? ¿Cuántos estudiantes hay? ¿Cuántos is the question word, estudiantes is the subject, and hay is the verb. With how much homework is there? ¿Cuánta is the question word, tarea is the subject, and hay is the verb. There are a few confusing words because they are so similar. Let's look at dónde, de dónde, and a dónde. You can remember them by some visuals. Dónde is a point in space because it is where something or someone is. It's usually used with the verb estar. De dónde is an arrow going backwards because it is where something or someone is from, and it is usually used with the verb ser. A donde is an arrow going forward because it is to where someone is going. It's usually used with going verbs like caminar, viajar, or ir. This is a verb we'll learn soon. Please pause the video and fill in the blanks with either donde, de donde, or a donde. We will cover the answers in class. There are also 3 other confusing words that can all be used to mean what. Let's start with como. We know the uses how are you, ¿cómo estás? Or how do you say, ¿cómo se dice? But here's where it becomes confusing. It literally means how, but we use it in place of what in the following situations to make it sound better in English. For what is your name, we say, ¿cómo te llamas? But it literally means, how do you call yourself? This would sound quite strange in English. Another example is, what is she like? ¿Cómo es ella? But literally we're asking, how is she permanently? Let's translate these sentences. You can pause the video if you need to. What is the physics class like? ¿Cómo es la clase de física? What is Patricia like? Another description, so ¿cómo es Patricia? What are the teachers like? This is also a description. ¿Cómo son los profesores? Now let's look at qué versus cuál. Qué is what or which. It can be used with verbs, but not ser unless it is a definition. It must be used with nouns. Cuál is which or what. It cannot be used with nouns. And it must be used with the verb ser unless you're asking for a definition. Please pause the video now and decide if you would use qué or cuál with these questions. We will go over the answers in class. The last part of your notes is the full sentence question practice. Please write questions in complete sentences that would give you the answers on your sheet. We will also go over these in class.